They say the best way to learn landscape art is to paint outdoors. So although it's the middle of winter, I'm going out to look for inspiration. I'm probably in the minority, but I really like cloudy days. Another perk of going to the woods in winter, no bugs. I can take all the time I need to appreciate the interesting objects and silhouettes.
Look at those trees. There's so many of them. They look even bigger now that they've fallen on the ground. Luckily, there's no house around here.
I'm naturally drawn to the fallen trees. I think there's a certain beauty to them, so I'll use this as my inspiration for the sketch. I'm using a black fine liner. Since the ink is permanent, I'm starting with the closest objects to make sure I overlap them correctly.
All the trees are vertical, but these fallen trees add some interesting lines, like diagonal lines and lines going in this direction as well.
I need a pair of gloves for outdoor sketching. Are there any good ones? Mine are thick and affects my movement, so I'm drawing as quickly as I can, capturing the essence and making simplifications along the way.
There are so many trees in front of the fallen trees, which is the main subject I want to draw, so I'm just going to remove those and only keep some of the small branches here. But that tree with leaves I'm going to keep because it adds some color and it can frame my drawing. It's the first time I'm doing sketch outdoor and it has to be winter. I'm gonna go home right now because my hands are freezing. I'm back home, nice and warm, and now I'm going to put watercolor on the sketch I just did.
I'm painting in my office, but this table is quite small, so this paint color set is really convenient. I'm starting with the most prominent colors, brown and green, then slowly adding the brighter colors like orange and blue. The forest looks kinda dead in person, but I can feel the life underneath, waiting for their moment in spring. I really want to capture that feeling, so I'm choosing brighter colors to make my version livelier. First, I need some better paints. I want to paint in my studio, but I can't, because I'm gonna do a makeover for my next video. It's currently a huge mess. So I'm going back to my office. These are all the forest colors I have, but I need to pick the right shades. Also, I'm looking for granulating colors, so I can create interesting patterns, like this. I'm using much better paper for the painting. It can take a lot more water. It's really good for making clouds. Before painting the forest, I'm testing the colors on scrap paper to make sure they go well together. Instead of the photo, I'm using my sketch as a reference because I want to keep developing my own version of the scene. Thanks to the better materials, there are more techniques I can use. This allows me to add more nuance than the sketch. For example, here I'm creating textures of the tree bark using the side of my brush and the rough texture of the paper. I've been drawing and painting characters. If I can paint scenery, I can create a world for my characters to live in. This is the main reason why I want to improve my landscape art. The small forest is so quiet and peaceful. It just feels right to have an elf there enjoying her day. There are quite a bit of details that I want to put in, but the painting is pretty small, so I switched to a tiny brush to put in as much as I can. Why is she feeding the slime mushrooms? I don't know, probably because I crave for some mushroom dishes myself. I really like the leaves that are still left on the tree. They add a pop of color and definitely brighten up the painting. But I feel this is not enough, so I'm making them slowly turn green as they get closer to the elf, symbolizing life. So this is how it evolved from the real scene to the final painting. What they say is true, I did learn a lot from this experience. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.